Hey everybody, thanks for clicking the thumbnail. Hope you enjoy the video. This video is an odds and ends video, so it's a grab bag of sorts of all kinds of different stories that are mostly Habs related, definitely all NHL related, and they go in this kind of a video. So if you're a Habs fan like me and you want to see more Habs videos like this, subscribe and ring that notifications bell. And that's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and let's get right into it. So leading off kind of with a sad story, it's King Henry, which is Henrik Lundqvist, formerly of the New York Rangers. He hasn't gotten a chance to play with the Washington Capitals yet, but he will be retiring a little early due to a heart condition. He released a statement about it, I guess it was yesterday, and he has to have some kind of treatment. It's going to prevent him from continuing his career. So the condition is going to prevent him from continuing his career. He's already 39, I believe, so it's not like, you know, he's going to play for a lot longer. So I imagine this brings to an end his career. And I believe it was that he retired, or because I'm thinking that I was reading it and he's saying that he might come back at a later date, but I believe he's retired. I don't expect we'll see him back. Too bad. He was a great goaltender and played for many years and well respected. And yeah, just a great goalie. And yeah, it's too bad to see that happen to somebody. It leaves a bit of a hole for Washington Capitals. So anybody who was thinking Capitals may have finished higher than they're probably going to now. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know who the backup's going to be now at this point. You have to take a look at it again. So yeah. Next up, a bit of a happier story, and that's Charlie Lindgren. He turns 28 on December 18th, which is today. I'm filming this on December 18th, but who knows when you guys are watching it. So he turned 27 on December 18th. Don't know what his future is with the Habs. Honestly, if there's a possibility that the teams will be able to carry three goaltenders, I guess Lindgren could be the third goaltender. He could play in the AHL. He could be traded. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with him. With the bringing in Jake Allen, they don't really need him. And then with Primo coming up right behind that, I don't know what goes on with Lindgren, but he's 27 today. So today's a happy day for him. Next up, so this is something I saw that, so it's helmet ads. Helmet ads are coming soon, apparently, maybe as early as this coming season. They say not, but usually when they do that, it'll happen. And they're talking, you know, they need revenue. The league is trying to raise revenue. They promise there won't be any ads on sweaters this coming season, but I can see them doing the helmets. And they even said, I'm not sure who it is, but I read somewhere someone from the NHL or in some kind of an official capacity has said that helmet ads would be the first thing if they do ads like that. And I would expect that they're going to need money as much as they can raise. I kind of expect it for next season, but we should see helmet ads coming soon, if not this one, the season after. I would have to think by then. It should be able to bring in quite a bit of revenue, I would think, and should help the problem they're having right now, I would think. So next up is a personal thing. So if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you might know that we did a fantasy pool last season that got disrupted like everything else by the pandemic. We're going to do another one this season. This time, though, on Yahoo. We were on ESPN. I don't really like the ESPN site personally. So we're on Yahoo. The site is up there. If you would like to take part, but there's an email in the description for Talking Habs. That's at gmx.com. Send me an email letting me know that you're interested in taking part. We'll see how many people we can get. I have about 15 spots that are going to be open, so there's lots. Although last year we didn't really fill out all 20 spots anyway. So we'll see what happens. If I get less than 15, then there's not a reason to do any kind of a contest. If I get a huge response, we'll do some kind of a contest to figure out who's going to take part. There will be prizes at the end of the season for this pool. So first, second, and third place. Nothing elaborate, but there'll be prizes for the winner, second, and third place finishers. Next up, number 5, Max Paceretti. Max Pacioretty, there's been trade rumors in the last couple of weeks from Vegas saying that they need to make some cap space, and they're seems to be willing to move Pacioretty. The owner or the president came out and said that that's not true. They're not going to be moving him, and then it came out again that they're going to move him. So I don't know which it is. Neither does he. So he was asked about the trade rumors involving him, so that Vegas can free up this cap space that they desperately need. His response was, I played in Montreal for 10 years, so this is lightweight stuff. So, like, he's used to the rumors. He's been through it for a couple seasons here. And I'm sure it was worse here than it can be in Vegas. So, you know, it's part of the business, right? So, he's used to it. Next up, Anthony Duclair signs with the Florida Panthers for 1 year, $1.7 million. Now, I saw a rumor that he had asked Ottawa for 3 years, $4+ million. I think it was over $4 million. And this stuff I didn't know. I found out today, I think on the Hockey Guys video, I'll admit to that Duclair represented himself with Florida, and that's after firing his agent, but I didn't get whether he fired his agent before negotiating with Ottawa or after. But apparently he wanted $4+ million for 3 years, and I don't know that he's that his value is that high. This is going to be Florida will be his 6th team in 7 years. He's played 6 years with 5 teams. It'll be his 6th team. He's a journeyman already, and yeah, I think if he would have asked for, the Hockey Guy says around $2 million, which makes sense because it's there's tax difference between Canada and in Florida, that he probably would stay in Ottawa. Who knows? But he was representing himself either with Ottawa, but definitely with Florida, and he got $1.7 million. He made $1.65 million last season, so it's not really a raise or anything. The raise is that he's making that in Florida, and he has to pay less taxes on that. Next up. 8 German team members and 2 Swedish staff members tested positive upon arriving in Edmonton for the World Junior Championships. So they tested them when they got off the plane, and they had these positive tests. The German team is quarantined right now until the 24th, and then they will be playing their first game on the 26th versus Canada. And the Swedish team is quarantined only until the 21st, and the reason I heard was because it's 2 staff members on the Swedish team and not any players, and for the German team it's 8 players. So now here's the question I have is, I heard they were all coming over on the same, I think 2 planes, and that means they were all together. Is that the only positive test we're going to see in the coming days? There's going to be more maybe, so I don't know how that's going to affect the junior championships because there's not a lot of time. I'm filming this on the 18th, 8 days till it starts, so don't know what happens if all of a sudden there's 30 players on all the European teams that are testing positive. So I don't know how that works out. So we'll see what happens with that. Number 8, just 2 items for like this day in history, but it's from the 16th. December 16th, 1922, the legendary, the great Aurel Joliat played his first pro hockey game. Now, Joliat was the longtime line mate to Harry Morenz, another legendary Habs player. He had 269 goals, 194 assists for 463 points in 16 years with Montreal. He won 3 Stanley Cups and 1 Hart Trophy in 1933-34. He was a great player from the very early days. But Aurel Joliat, his first game on December 16th. Also on December 16th, 1950, 2 of Montreal's great players, that's Jean Beliveau and Boom Boom Geoffrion. They played their first NHL games, and that was in a 1-1 tie with the Rangers. Now, Geoffrion played 14 seasons with Montreal. He had 371 goals, 388 assists for 759 points in his career. He won the Calder Trophy in 1952, the Hart Trophy in 1961. He won 2 scoring titles and 6 Stanley Cups with Montreal. Beliveau of course, is a legend. I would think most people watching this know all about Jean Beliveau. He played only 5 games with Montreal over the next 3 seasons after this. And to make him turn pro, the Habs GM at the time was the another legendary Frank Selke, who the Selke Trophy is named after. He bought the entire Quebec Senior Hockey League. He turned that into a pro league. And it kind of forced Beliveau to sign with Montreal because he was happy staying as an amateur, playing in Quebec with the Aces, I think, at the time. And he was making good money. The fans loved him, and he's that kind of guy. He was just a classy guy. Fans loved him so much and gave him so much. That's what he said, that he didn't want to leave there. And so kind of the Canadians forced, Frank Selke forced his hand by doing that. Imagine they bought a whole league, turned it pro. He kind of said, well, I guess I can move to Montreal now. So that's what happened. That was December 16th, 1950. So in his career, he had 507 goals, 712 assists, 1,229 points. That's in 1,125 games, all with Montreal. 10 years as the Habs captain, along with Saku Koivu, the longest-serving captains. 10-time Stanley Cup winner, one behind Henri Richard, and 2 Hart trophies in his career. Number 10 on this list. So the AHL. I get a lot of people asking me about the AHL. Do I know anything about the AHL? So I was reading this today. Where did I write here? So it's an AHL update. So I don't know a lot, but first of all, they're kind of waiting on to see what happens with the NHL to know if their tentative February 5th start date is going to make any sense. That's one thing. They don't know if all the teams are going to play. That's another thing. Let's see now. They're talking also about an all-Canadian division, which would comprise 4 teams. One of them would be, of course, the Laval Rocket. Only problem with that is only one team plays in a different division. That's Manitoba. So they'd have a pretty big... the travel would be hard for them, that's for sure. They're looking at temporary relocations for other teams in the States. I don't know. I didn't get into depth on that. So they're looking at from February 5th to May 30th would be their season. 44 to 48 games. That's 2.75 games per week, which some in the executive are thinking that might be too much. Too many games for them. Their camps would open January 25th. There would be 10-day camps, no exhibition games, so exactly like the NHL. Now, NHL rosters and taxi squads, they don't know what's going to happen with that, so they don't know the players and who are going to be there. So that'll impact their plans. No idea how many of the 31 teams will play. I said that. And restrictions vary from place to place. This is the big problem. Right now, the Rocket couldn't play. Montreal can't play. They are working on it. I've got news after this about that. So they're waiting to see what the NHL does. That'll probably give them more of a clue. They'll have roughly... I don't know. I kind of don't think the NHL is going to start on the 13th at this point, but we'll see about that. And yeah, so that's what's happening with the AHL. They're kind of in limbo still. So next, Pat Hickey is reporting that the Habs are getting closer to getting an okay for training camp in Brossard from the government, I guess, the Quebec government. So Canadians and Quebec public health advisors are getting close to agreeing on allowing it to happen. Quebec Premier Legault was enthusiastic in supporting the NHL's return in January. Legault said on Wednesday that he thinks the Canadian teams, I guess I didn't write teams, Canadian teams can create a bubble or the Canadians, I guess that's why. It's the Montreal Canadiens, that's what I meant. That they could create a bubble in Brossard and carry that to the Bell Centre, so between Brossard and the Bell Centre, and obviously the players' homes. So visiting teams could do a similar thing with the closeness of the hospitals. Well, hopefully they won't need hospitals. Closeness of the hotels near the Bell Centre. There's a lot of hotels near the Bell Centre, so that shouldn't be a problem either. So currently only Jonathan Drouin, Paul Byron, Phil Deneau, and Alex Romanov are in Quebec. And I think Drouin, Byron, and Romanov are in Montreal, with Deneau probably... I think he still lives in Victoriaville, I want to say. Or Drummondville, one of the two. Carey Price apparently is expected to arrive on Boxing Day. Now, the weird about that is he's in there. He said they were wrapping things up in Washington State. That means the U.S. If he's coming back Boxing Day, he won't be ready for camp if it opens when they think, because he has to spend 14 days in quarantine. So I don't know. I'm a little confused on that, but I read it 3 times to make sure that it's not me. So there you go. Take that for what it is. That brings us to the next story, and the last one is All Canadian Division. Is it in jeopardy? So you see, I got it. All Canadian Division in jeopardy. That's with a question mark, because apparently they're having trouble, I guess, negotiating with all the different provincial governments. See, in Canada, obviously, the federal government doesn't decide what's going to happen in each of the provincials, in each of the provinces when it comes to these things, right? So the provinces decide. So you're dealing with BC, Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec. So you got 5 different governments you got to deal with. Now, from what I understand, and you read in the story previous to this one, was that it looks like Quebec, they're okay with it. I'm even enthusiastic, doesn't surprise me. And I'm okay with it too. I think they can do it. I think they can do it safe enough. So I'm fine with it as well. Apparently in Manitoba, they're fine with it. So for the Jets, where they are, apparently that government's good with it. And the other problem is now maybe Alberta, I hear, is kind of wishy-washy. They're on the fence about it, not sure. BC and Ontario, right now, apparently that's the problems. So we'll see how that works out. If they can work out a deal, they stay in Canada. If not, they might have to go to the U.S., and that's what puts them in jeopardy of being an all-Canadian division, because if they go to the U.S., there's no reason why they have to keep them all in a Canadian division. Unless, good point brought up today that I read, was that maybe advertisers want to see that, because, well, definitely us fans, like, I'm really disappointed if there's not going to be an all-Canadian division at this point. So we're going to be really disappointed. I think advertisers recognize that and realize that for those games, there's going to be a lot of people watching, and the their ads are going to be seen by a lot of people. So, I mean, that's a good thing. So I guess it depends on, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope that they keep at least the All-Canadian Division. I hope they do a possibility, they're talking now, maybe one hub in Canada. So everybody playing out of the same arena. I like that idea. As long as it stays in Canada. They may have to do hubs even in the States. There's already states like San Jose. They can't play. They can't practice. They've gone over to Scottsdale, Arizona, I think is where I heard. So they might have to play their games out of there. And so there's other places in the States. So it's not perfect yet. We don't know what's going to happen. I just hope they work out that at the very least they've got one hub that they can play in Canada to start the season. And then as things get a little bit better, they can move to the individual arenas from there. So, yeah, that's the news. Let's see if I forgot anything. The hub. Oh, it looks like Edmonton or Toronto for the hub, which they did obviously for the RTP. So apparently the players liked it in Toronto better. So they're hoping if it's going to be a hub in between those two that they want it in Toronto. It was better there apparently. And I guess since we didn't get there's no vote expected or announcement expected today. This is Friday, the 18th, which means it pushes any kind of real announcement probably till Monday at the earliest. It might make it a little late for that January 13th start. So it's starting to look like January 13th isn't going to be the start date, and it may be pushed closer to February 1st. So we'll see how that works out. And that is it. That's my odds and ends grab bag of all news kind of stories for what's going on right now. If you liked it, give a thumbs up. If you want to leave any comments in the comment section about anything here, what your opinion is, if you think my opinion is wrong, whatever, anything like that, just be nice about it is really all I ask. And do that in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel or you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, ring that notifications bell. That's also down there. That'll get you your daily fix of Bleu, Blanc, Rouge right here Talking Habs. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. Please stay safe out there as numbers are getting worse everywhere. Stay safe, and so you can come back here and watch more talking Habs videos. I mean, of course, why else? Peace out, y'all. See you next video. I've got, if you're still here, I've got a series of 3 parts, kind of an easy, simple videos about, the 12 days of Christmas. So Habs numbers, I'm going to go over from 12 to 1, who are the top 3 players to wear those numbers. So look for that. Those are coming up next. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Have a great day or night or morning or evening, whatever.